Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMcast, powered by Game 7 Baseball, game7baseball.com. Go on the website, get registered, get your team in. We're going to be at some great sites. Spring Showdown, I-70 Showdown, the World Series. We're going down to Max Creek for the state championships. We're hoping to get over to Tennessee as well, so make sure you get in. Might be some surprise stops in there this summer as well, so make sure you're coming out and playing some Game 7 baseball. Saturdays are going to be a lot of fun. We're giving away baseball cards again, trivia. It's happening. Great stuff. Game7baseball.com. Today we have another GAC preview with head coach Justin Hellman from the North Point Grizzlies. Coach, thanks for joining us first time.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. It's been a long time coming, and I'm glad to be finally in studio.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. We had a dandy of a game last year out at Troy with you guys. Both teams played. It was just a fantastic baseball game.
It was a great game. Back and forth. That was kind of one of those games that our boys finally got to feel, playing under the lights, playing in an environment that can be pretty daunting, especially for a second-year school. But, we believe in baptism by fire over there, so we'll give it a shot anytime we can.
Nothing wrong with that. Give the folks a little about yourself, your and how you come to coach here. You're a local product too, yep. Right?
So I'm a 2010 Holt grad. I'm a product of the Joel Adam coaching tree. Okay. Goes pretty far and wide, but whenever they were building North Point, I was looking at potentially applying at Holt, but I wanted to be ready for North Point. So once North Point opened, I went guns blazing, went straight for it. Brought me on to do baseball and softball, and I couldn't imagine myself anywhere else.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, it's one of those things, building a program, from the ground up. What's it like to be able to develop that culture?
It's awesome. It definitely has its own, bumps going through it. You're starting fresh. You have to create an identity. Whenever we opened, we were given some kids that chose to leave Holt. Handful of kids that left Timberland. We started with that freshman class that they didn't have a choice. They were North Point kids from the start. The best part about it has been that first year we started 5 freshmen in a varsity schedule. And like I said, baptism by fire. We weren't going to shy away from that. We were going to let them go through it and deal with varsity baseball. You're a 14-year-old. You're going to figure it out while we go. And now we're in year 3, hoping to make that jump. Culture building is a daily process. We try to take time at the beginning of every practice to continue building our culture and what we want to do. And we're just trying to create a tough group of kids that love to play ball. It's been that way.
When the G.A.C. Classic was at Lindenwood, and I think it was the first year we did, you were out there playing.
Yep.
And you ended up losing. I think it was a pretty decent one, but the one thing that I took away from that when I saw you guys then is you didn't quit. Your guys competed the whole way through.
Yep.
And that to me was interesting. And we've talked a lot about it with Kevin Mulder on the show and the talents there. And we're going to look at a little bit of this. When we talk about you got some seniors now.
Yep.
Right? Kevin Mangrum. 386, 506, 514, 25 runs scored. He had 3 doubles and 3 triples. Coming back with Nick Herman. Where do you see those guys in their leadership?
Kevin's been our table setter he started every game he's been at North Point since he was a freshman. We moved him over to shortstop pretty quickly. And for him to hit, 386 at the top of the lineup in a GAC schedule, and our non-conference schedule was no joke. Kev really gets the ball going. He's got better, I wouldn't say tremendous, but he's got better power than you would expect out of his size. He's put on some weight this year, which should be really good for him. Above average speed, above average arm strength. He's a great defender. He's one of those kids he'll make some plays that you go, yeah, the next guy next to him's probably not making that play. Nick really found a place in our pitching rotation last year. The kid just throws strikes, and that's the name of the game. If we can call the unpredictable pitch at the unpredictable time, we're gonna do pretty well. And Nick's one of those kids. He's kind of slated as our second baseman up the middle. He's grown tremendously as a hitter from what I've seen from this past summer into what we've seen through winter workouts. Excited to see what he can do with some more experience. But we look to those two to kind of anchor us up the middle. Kevin's going to pitch a little bit too. And then we hope that Kevin blossoms from what he did last year and that Nick can add an even extra bat there, middle bottom of the lineup.
I really like your 25 guys. Jack Cowling. It is the Bridle brothers, correct? Burdell, excuse me. Sorry, guys. I did that last time, I think, and they probably corrected me.
They get a good laugh out of it.
Yeah. Cowling, Burdell brothers, Peyton and Braden, Alex Blair.
Yep.
These guys played important roles for you last year. Where do you see them coming back this year?
Well, with Carter Burdell, Carter is a top tier offensive lineman recruit. So Carter's not coming back this year. He's doing his thing, and we fully support.
Sure.
I mean, that kid, he's an animal.
You got to make those decisions at that point, at some point,
yeah,
right?
and we told him from the get go, like, hey man, like we know what you are.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what you want to go do, we're going to support you. We're going to be there for you, and you come out and say hi to us anytime you want. We will also be without Alex Blair this year.
Wow.
But we've got some sophomores coming up that are ready to produce, and again, being in year 3. There's nothing that's super solidified. I mean, we've got our guys. Jack's going to be top of the one of the top 2 pitchers in the rotation for us. He hit 3, 4, or 5 for us, depending on where he was. He's made some massive jumps on the mound. I mean, it's tough to beat 6'5", 200 pounds. The kid's got some great stuff. His velo's up. His off speed has got some more break to it, a lot more RPMs to his off speed stuff, and we're really looking for Jack to be a big part going over the next couple of years.
So you were talking about the 2026s. Joseph Gonzalez, Brady Eisenbath, Stone Marion.
Yep. So
are those names that we're going to see?
Stone's a kid who's off playing soccer. We've been trying to get him for a long time. We'll see if we can convince him the other way. Joe Gonzalez, he came up after the Troy game when we lost Alex Blair in the first inning. The next day we went down. I went and spoke with my JV coach Brett Collins, and I said, I need a guy. I need a guy to fill that spot. We called up Joe. We went over to Winfield, and we all talk about it. Within 2 innings, we see Joe get horizontal in left field trying to make a play. A couple innings after that, he's going first to third on a bunt, and we're like, man, this kid's got some stuff. And he was a big spark plug for us. He was a guy that kind of changed our mentality going forward. We're excited to see what he can do. Brady Eisenbath, man, the kid swings a good bat. Yeah. He's got a good stick to him. The other day, and when we went live for workouts, he was good 2-2 behind the plate. He shows some good defensive skills. He's raw, but he's probably someone that we're looking at to see, as we go into tryouts, if and how he can help us at the catching position.
Right.
Or anywhere else, really. I mean, we're trying to fill a first baseman role. We're trying to fill some pitching spots. So we're looking at those 2026s and saying, who's ready to step up, because we'll take some depth.
And, we have this conversation, and I love to put this in front of coaches. So these folks watching, parents, kids, you got some guys that are there. Where can you play? I mean, I don't normally play that. Figure it out, right? Learn how to play multiple positions. It's important, isn't it?
It's absolutely important. I was brought up in the game, that you're not going to be a one-dimensional person. If you can pitch, great, but you're going to know how to do everything else.
Right.
So whenever our guys come up, it's not a club season of 60-plus games. It's a 36-game sprint. So however you can help us right now is how we hope you're going to help us. If we have to develop you in certain ways to get you prepared for a new position, fine. Joe Gonzalez is a perfect example. He's a high-level shortstop. He's a high-level middle infielder. He got his shot in left field and was instantly a game changer. So we look at kids and we say, however you can help is how you can help. There's as much as I would love for you to play the spot that you're going to play, we're in a sprint. I need you to help me win right now.
I love it. And I always make these are analogies I love. And it's not an analogy, it's just fact. This is what happened. I remember Titus Sissel came up as a freshman on a Hal team starting, but he was starting in left field. He is one of those high-level shortstop. Mm-hmm. In fact, he, as a shortstop, he's getting looks maybe draftable.
Yeah.
And he's committed to Mizzou. So it doesn't matter. Get on the field, right?
I mean, you look at, everybody forgets that Albert Pujols was a left fielder and a third baseman. So,
however you can get on the field, baby.
You can. Do it
how
how you can.
Pitching Brandon McQuarrie.
Yep.
He's another guy there. What are you looking for?
BMAC has been our ace since day one. And that kid has really started to come out of his shell. He is a weight room machine. Oh. The kid loves to get stronger, and he's been getting a lot stronger. He's breaking his 90-mile-an-hour mark. He's committed to Maryville. Obviously, they see some of the same things that we do. Plus off-speed stuff. We're looking at him to lead the rotation as a senior. And if you look at last year, the way that he went out, and I mean, he gave Timberland fits. Yeah. And for us to go to Timberland's place, him to pitch like that in a 30-mile-an-hour wind game, like that's a game that you can give up. It can go ugly real fast. And
it's just a wind tunnel at Timberland.
Goodness. Up on top of that hill. I've been there too long. But yeah, he threw great, and we're kind of looking at those last couple starts and saying, man, with the growth that he had in the offseason, we're excited to see what he can do. Yeah,
that's awesome. You have a fantastic 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Where's your depth coming from with your pitching staff?
Well, we have our three as slated at the moment is Brandon Bechtel. Bechtel is a pitch to contact guy. 4 pitches for strikes. He did great in his last live outing. He's going to keep you guessing. He threw early on in the season. We did a doubleheader with Parkway South and Zumwalt East, and he was lights out. I mean, he went 7 innings of 1-to-1 ball with Zumwalt East.
That's not easy.
No, not especially whenever we saw them in districts, what they can do offensively. Yeah. Bechtel pitched to contact, let the defense work. He's probably going to be a guy we lean on. Again, Nick Herman has gone out there and proven that he can handle, complete game against Parkway South. Like he can go out there and do what he's got to do. We're going to give some guys a shot and see if they can help us. Got a sophomore that might be helpful in the pitching rotation, Justin Ninninger. See how he does coming out of tryouts. But really, we're going to lean on our starting rotation and then let guys fill roles on the back half and shut games out. Big thing for us is that we got to let our offense go.
Talk a little bit to us about, you've got some holes to fill. And I always, pitching, the depth there, but then you've got behind the plate. You seem to be pretty decent. Where are you at center field? Who's in that? Where are your spots? Who's competing? How solid do you feel up the middle right now?
Up the middle feel pretty good. I mean, at that catcher spot, with Peyton and Brady holding that down. Kevin's a lockdown shortstop, and then again, we got Jack as a shortstop. When Callan came along, he was a 6'5" Cal Ripken-esque style shortstop. He's since shifted over and played different roles. You have Joe Gonzalez still that can fill that spot too. Our center fielder is Jeff Williams. Jeff is one of those kids that's just an absolute ball hawk. We always joke about, 2 outs in the inning, ball goes up to center field. I'm turning around, putting my clipboard down and grabbing my offensive play card. Jeff gets to a lot of baseballs. So up the middle, we feel pretty solid. We're looking to fill another outfield spot, and another one's up for competition. I mean, that's the name of the game. Guys are going to compete, and the right guys are going to play. So if we've got a guy that's ready to go, then that's who we're going to go with.
Now, I always like to do this because with youth sports, people are playing in clubs and things like that. But make sure you're at a club, and Coach, you can speak to this, that when you get to the high school level, you understand and you're ready to compete for a spot, correct?
Yep, absolutely. I think, long time coming has been the club versus the high school situation. My opinion is that, you go off into the club, you've got your spot, what position you're going to play. You might play a couple others, and you're going to go off and get a lot of reps, get a lot of games. I think what high school offers is the press to win. you can go down and play in the, whatever tournament you play in Fort Lauderdale. Well, there's going to be one of those every single weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to remind our boys that, if you win a state championship in Missouri, you just so happen to be living in the same place as 13 other guys who were good enough to win. And on top of it, I won't go into the whole private school thing, but you're going up against a lot of people that have resources that you don't have.
Yeah.
So whenever you're looking at playing for a spot in high school, again, it's about creating good culture. It's about, helping young men grow and become good citizens and good baseball players. And part of that life lesson is be where you can be. Be what you can afford to be, play the spot that's available, and get out there and do what you can do.
You guys, district-wise and then into the state playoffs, Class 5, you've got to have some depth to win
Absolutely.
the state tournament. I mean, last year Festus, that's going to be a really good team again. You got Borgia, who's going to be brutal.
Yep. We'll see them.
Yeah, you got Borgia.
We're down in that Borgia Union tournament, the Bank Classic.
That's a good challenge for your kids, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And again, our non-conference schedule, we're preparing. We know that we're a Wentzville school, so we're going to go up. It's we're in the north for one more year, and then we're going to be in the central for 2 more, and then likely, if everything keeps going the way it is, we're eventually going to end up in the south if that's how it shakes out. But trying to always get ourselves against those teams that are polished, are ready to go, that have a lot of collegiate commits, and I'll always go back to the baptism by fire.
Yeah, are you going to see South this year? Are they on your schedule?
Oh, yeah. We have for the 3rd year in a row, we're playing Zumwalt South and Hazelwood West in a doubleheader. We'll host it for the 2nd year in a row. But that's good for us. There's, with Carter Cox and a lot of those boys over there, they're good ball players. And
that's a tough team.
It's only better for us to continue to see teams like that.
And that's what I mean. You're talking about just in your, with the GAC North, just in that, from Warrenton, St. Charles West, Winfield. I think St. Charles, Coach Bickle, I think he's got some talent there. Yeah. That's not going to be you're going to have that plus your non-conference. It's a pretty good grind for you guys, and I think it helps you as you get into districts, right?
For sure. Figure most of our non-conference schedule, because we play in the north, so none of those schools are in our district,
right?
With the exception of the occasional St. Charles or St. Charles West. Depending on how it shakes out, St. Charles West tends to fall in the class below.
Mm-hmm.
But we try to see East, we try to see South. Dominic, we try to set up games with. We're always, and we have our annual game with Holt. We're always looking to our non-conference schedule is prepping us for districts, just because it's a weird dynamic. We spend our conference playing Class 3 and Class 4, and then districts come, and here it is, Class 5. Now you're ready to go.
Yeah. Well, you got Warrenton's Class 5. They were last year, and I think St. Charles was Class 5.
Yeah.
So, but the others, as you said, that's all Class 4 schools. And so I think it's going to be an interesting thing, until everything kind of it'll just be interesting, because I've heard maybe Holt, because of the movement, may even drop down to Class 4.
Yeah, and that's all something that if you're a Wentzville person, you're all watching, seeing what happens with them.
Right.
The GAC is constantly in flux with. St. Charles County, it grows and it shifts and. I assume that the GAC will probably be, especially in the south and the north, or the central and the north, it'll change frequently over the next few years.
I agree. I think it will. Well, just looking, and we do this because this is what, our GAC preview of the north, I think you got a really good shot. I think your pitching depth for the north is, I think West is right there.
Yeah.
I want to watch that game, although we are opening our GAC schedule with Winfield at St. Charles West, because that was quite an epic battle last year for that title.
Remember that one came down at the end?
Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to see you against Warrenton, though, at the GAC Classic. So awesome. I'm looking forward to that. So it'll be a lot of fun.
I'm excited.
I do got to get out and see you, though, a little bit, because I'm interested to see how you guys play against South, Zumwalt South, and that one will be interesting.
It was. They beat the tar out of us last year. It was a rough day for us at the ballpark. We split the day 1-1 with Hazelwood West and South. But like I told you before, being a Wentzville lifer and a GAC kid, you know that the Bulldogs are always around the corner.
Yeah.
So we finished that game, and it was a rough one. Boys were down, and one of those where you walk to them and you say, today is what we need is prayer and reflection, and try to come back the next day and be ready to go.
There you go. I love that, Coach. It's a pleasure.
It was awesome. Thank you very much.
Enjoyed that conversation. All you North Point folks, get out, support this team. They're going to be good. They're going to be fun to watch. There's going to be a lot of talent out there. Get out, support them. Baseball's free.
It is.
It doesn't cost you to get in like football and basketball.
That's right.
Right? Make sure you support. Go to the concession stand, get a soda, get some popcorn. Take care of these guys. Go out there and support your team. Get the community out there with you. It'll be a lot of fun. We'll see you at the ballpark. That's the way we're going to do it. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it very much. Please, if you like what we're doing, right down there below, subscribe button. Hit the dinger next to it because that's what we do around here.
Yeah, we need people watching.
There you go. That will get you all your notifications for upcoming episodes such as this. We do appreciate your support. Have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. Hitters, Coach, give them some advice.
See ball, hit ball.
I like it. Keep it simple. We'll see you next time.